Hey, everyone. Great to be here. I'm Alex Levin. This is Sun and Moon Yoga Studios YouTube page. This is what we call our sunroom in our house. It's a heated and cooled room over the garage. It's a wonderful space most of the time. Sometimes it's a wee bit too hot with 270-degree windows. Sometimes it's a wee bit too cold. Sometimes it's just right, like today. So get what you need. Get what you need to for a little bit of movement. We're about a half-hour session together every Sunday here, 10 o'clock Eastern time. What you need for support for being still, for our sitting later on. Uh, we'll be doing something that you can do from standing. I'm going to do it from kneeling just because of the way the camera is. You'll see me from sort of the knees up. You could even do it from sitting, I think. Yeah, it's called Breath of Joy. Um, I have to remember the teacher I got that from. Anyhow, think it's so great to be together in this way. If you're here in the same time, synchronous time, I'd love to see your presence through chat. That would be wonderful. Today, I usually bring something. This is the set of this show every Sunday. I usually bring something a little different. And today I have these lovely zinnias that Jackie Shakerford brought over. Jackie leads a meditation on Friday mornings out of her home, her beautiful home, on the not far from the Chesapeake Bay on a river. And she was visiting last Friday night. These are from the garden that is on her deck of zinnias, and I know she has echinacea. Not sure what else. Anyhow, let me just get back on track. I'll tell you a little bit about the theme I've been thinking about that inspires my practice on and off the mat. Then we'll do a little movement that easily segues us into stillness and silence together. So it's fall time. Fall in many traditions and paradigms is considered a time of letting go, as the trees let go of their leaves. Um, there's a chant in the yoga tradition. Sometimes it's called the chant of harmony. Is often invoked for teacher. No, I'm thinking of the wrong one. It's it's a chant often chanted for at death. See if I can remember the Sanskrit. Mritya. Not remembering it. And anyhow, I know the chant. Maybe I'll chant it for you toward the end. Um, I chant it when I pick up dead mice from our backyard, whether it's from cats or other reasons. Um, Wrap them up in the trash. Uh, I'm on tangents this morning. Sorry about that. Let me try to focus. So, letting go. I've been sorting through stuff upstairs where we painted our upstairs bedrooms and office, and um, moved everything into the guest bedroom and then are letting things out bit by bit to not get too cluttery. And so there's a letting go of papers, of books, of precious things. And I notice how challenging for me that is. And one of my sisters-in-law tells me, "Oh, it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier as you do it," and it is becoming a little easier. But still, it's a process, and there's so many ways that we have the opportunity to let go and notice how what's happening for ourselves as we do. And while I'm speaking, you can just be thinking of the ways that you might need or want to let go. Another way for me is in patterns of relationship. I'm thinking of my closest relationship with my partner, my husband, that I fall into responses that um, are just they're kind of in a rut. They happen habitually rather than from really freshly being in the situation and feeling, sensing what he needs and wants to hear, as well as what I want to express. And I'm beginning to notice, and I credit it to this practice, that this practice, this deliberate practice, then when we take it off the cushion, it's another way of practicing, but crediting this time where we plug in, where we recharge. I don't know if your phone is like this, but I have about a 3-year-old phone, 4-year-old phone, and I need to charge it often. I use it a lot, but it loses charge even if it's just sitting overnight. It lost 15 or 16% of its charge. So so similarly, it's not a perfect analogy or metaphor, but it's similar that we need to tap in to remember this presence and how to be freshly with what's happening. So if you saw what I titled today's practice, GUMO, getting out of my own way, made up that acronym this morning. So letting go is a little bit like also getting out of my own way, getting out of the patterns, the habit, the um, what has been true for what has been a way or a easy path for so long. Allows a freedom, a lightness, allows us to be right here. So I don't know if it'll catch on, but gumo, wishing you gumo as we practice today. One more thing as we practice, two more things. The So often what happens to us, especially during the stillness silence meditation part, is that we somehow pop out of our meditation. We popcorn, as one of my teachers say, we popcorn out to thinking to thinking about. Often for me, it's something next on my plate, or it's planning how I'm going to arrange something. And when we come back, when we notice, we're actually in an opportunity of letting go right there, where we've let go once we've already on the path of letting go, once we stomach starting to come back to what it is we are intending to do. And in this case, it's the sitting in stillness and silence and simply being with a capital B. The other thing is, as we do this next little practice of movement, breath of joy, you might choose a letting go. The out breath is associated with letting go. The breathing out, it's a riddance of molecules in our body that we no longer need. So you might emphasize that as we do this little practice. So you might stand, you might sit, you might get on your knees as I'm going to. Make sure I don't knock something over. It's going to be some uh, movement with our arms. So you can stand with your feet a little bit apart. And if you've changed your position from sitting to kneeling or standing, please go ahead and uh, arrive. Arrive where you are. And by the way, if you're curious, all the pets are here with me. Max is in a crate, Tommy and Rock are on the couch. They keep a nice, quiet, restful presence for me here. Okay, the way this goes, I'll narrate it as I demonstrate it one time, and you can join me. We'll do this 3 or 4 times. On an inhale, we sweep the arms up. Continuing part of the inhale, the arms go out, and still on the inhale, up, and then exhale, fold at your hip hinge in front, bowing down, and then coming up, inhale the arms up in front of you, second third of the inhale to the side, final third up, And forward and up, and then down on the exhale. A couple more times at your own pace, 2 or 3 times more maybe. On this final bow, you might stay in the forward fold for a little bit. In fact, just stay. If you're standing, you might not want to stay that long. If you've been on your knees, being in that child's pose we arrived to might feel nice. If you're sitting, just however, just stay within a range of non-pain, ease. In fact, as you're here, maybe folded forward, maybe not, as I'm not to come up to chat. Um, arrive again. Arrive again. And sense how you meet the ground, the effect of the breath we just did together, the breath practice we just did together. Sense what thoughts might be flowing through your mind as if you're watching them as a phenomenon, almost like a physical sensation. Sense the quality of breath now. You might even sense your heart rate up a little bit, or maybe not. And then sense to what I call the energetic feel of our body. Maybe there's a feeling of calm, um, heart energies. Is there a calm? Is there maybe an alertness? The kind of movement, that very uplifting and of the arms and upper body, can create an alertness. And so I was always fascinated with this from the beginning of doing yoga, over starting yoga 25 years ago or so, how the effect of a practice made me both relaxed and energized at the same time. And if you need to shift to another position for the meditation piece, please do so with a presence that you've now discovered, or we've cultivated, that here-ness, that we're gumo, we've gotten out of our own way, guyo or gumo. And so set up your seat as it's most comfortable, supported. And we'll go right into our stillness. I'll do a few pointers for our posture and and then as we go along to keep us on path. But there will be a lot of silence, but it's not nothing. Tune into your breath as you settle all the segments of your body a little bit more downward with gravity, even if you're in a lying down position. And right off the bat, we might become a little more aware of capital A awareness or capital B beingness, which is that part of ourselves that never changes, that part of ourselves that is always with us, observing, watching, knowing. It's not the same as consciousness for me, my terminology. Consciousness is the lens, and many teachers, many sages have talked of these practices as cleaning the lens so that we see life, see movement, see the time bound, space bound more clearly. So you might sense the feel of what is touching the ground for a little bit longer, just really allowing the here-ness, the gravity to support us, for ourselves to lean into it, which comes with the down toward the center of the earth direction. And sometimes a little bit of front, back, left, right, little tiny adjustments so that all the downward strands um, support the uplift. So it's if you're sitting up or standing even, and even if you're lying down, the upness, the levity complement of gravity is easy. It's just there, almost created by the full commitment to the down direction. We can just put that attention to the body in this space to the side a little bit, still conscious of it, but still aware of it and conscious of it. And and then begin to notice breath. There's nothing you need to do with it. And the more we get out of our own way, the more there might be a richness, an appreciation, a closeness to what is so intimate, to the many intimacies, but of the breath, of sound, space around. A few more minutes together in stillness and silence. If you find yourself lost and then discover you're back, that is that letting go opportunity. And it is all good. No need to punish yourself. Couple more breaths. all comes to an end, all things in the manifest world come to an end, and such is our practice. You might feel like you want to stay longer, but it's a good practice. So even if you do, you can bow with us together so that we don't even become attached to holding on to something that felt so good at the end, perhaps. And if you choose, you can go right back into it. Thank you for joining me on getting out of our own way. Maybe it'll be G.O.O.O.W. Guao. Thanks so much for joining me. This is very meaningful. I love doing this. And I'm so happy that we have this opportunity to do it together. And may your may you see more clearly some of the ways you let go, or one of the ways you're in your own way of letting go. And you check our website for other ways to stay tuned in and together, practice together and support each other. sunandmoonstudio.com. And you can contact me at aLex at sunandmoonstudio.com for questions or to share how it's going for you. Thanks so much. Ciao, ciao. See you next time.